Hey, what's up? Zach here, and today I've got the all-new New Balance P350, and I'm very confused about what's going on with New Balance basketball. I gotta say, especially given what's written on the outsole tread of these things, but and just the way these look versus what the actual materials are on them too. I have to say though, they are starting to grow on me. And before I get into all this, just remember, if you want to check these out, affiliate links are down below. Xenon Zen slide down below, shoe customization book down below, links to that, as well as discount codes for the shoe customization book and as well as the sandals. So let's get into these. And Court Shoe Finder, by the way, too, brand new app that is free. You can find the best shoe for you. Just type in all the parameters you want. In terms of the P350, why it's not called the Hezi Low V3, I don't know, but they're changing the numbering system on these things. And to me, these look a lot like the 9060 in like the casual space. And when I look at them, like first take them out of the box, they looked cheap. And they're only $110, original retail. I don't know what they're gonna be in your region or when you watch this video, what price they will be, if they'll be on sale, whatever. But then you look at the material list and there is like genuine leather in them. The actual paneling in the uppers, I mean, it's just this area here, but still, I mean, people that like that, and it is a more expensive material to make a shoe out of. Then you get this paneling up here. Now this TPU weave up here, this is actually, if you look at it under the microscope, it's a really tight, but it's open, chain linking on the outside, this mesh, and underneath of it, it's another textile layer underneath of it. You can see under here. Then there's also fused underlays, so underneath of the mesh, and there's overlays on top of it. They're stitched and fused. And it's just the painting, right? It's this painted fused upper here, this overlay here, that kind of makes it look a little bit cheap, but it isn't. Like, they're really good materials. You look at this thing on the breathability test, and for how tight of an upper these are, how much material is in them, fog's getting out everywhere. It's getting out of the sides here, it's getting out of the front in between this leather here, and then the lace line's reinforced with all of this. You do get a huge gusset on the tongue. It's stitched in. The tongue is really nice and padded, but it also has got some breathing channels there. I mean, you're getting a lot in these uppers. They're 109 bucks, but they kind of look like they're $109. You can't judge a book by its cover with these, and especially in the uppers. Yeah, I mean, really, there's a lot in here. There's a lot for the price. In terms of heel slippage, you don't get a runner's knot, which I hate because you could put one right here so easily. You can put one in if you want. Check out the shoe customization book for that. In the rear foot, I mean, there's just a decent amount of padding in there. The heel counter is nothing to write home about. You do get kind of like a quasi-external one here too, but it's just a little bit. Heel slippage is mild. It's there, but it's mild. It's really not bad at all. The one thing I will say is with how much material is in the gusset of the tongue, and with how narrow the midfoot is, like the shoe isn't crazy narrow and it comes in widths. We'll talk about this in the fit section, but I will say the uppers in the midfoot really were scrunching my foot. Now I have an elephant foot, so I got beefy feet. And so that's probably why I was feeling that. I had a little bit of lace irritation from that. But once that breaks in, it's really not bad. I have had a few issues with New Balance in recent models across tennis and now in this one, where the uppers to me were just kind of hugging me in the midfoot and getting a little annoying. One was on the outside, now this one's on the medial side. This does break in, which is nice, but just if you do have a little bit of a wider midfoot, get ready for this upper just to hug you a little bit. Feels great in the toe box. We'll talk about that in the fit. The uppers are nice and forgiving up there, but in the midfoot, a little bit of a different story. All right, beginning into the midsole teardown, I would call this basic but effective once broken in. It's an entire bed of fuel cell, lightweight eTPU foam. It is not the most plush thing on the planet. You do have to give it a little bit of a break in. Thing is the insole in this thing, this urethane insole, is pretty plush and it's pretty thick, but this is gonna break down. And so once you kind of get through that, the fuel cell does need a little bit of time to kind of break in, like most fuel cell products do. And with an orthotic, it's gonna feel better. You do get a huge shank in the midfoot. That is a thick, chunky shank up there. And so, yeah, you look at the Balance height test, 31 centimeters in the rear foot, 33 in the forefoot. That's kind of used to seeing with fuel cell. It's not the Balance CS, it's not the most responsive. And honestly, it's not the most shock absorbing thing out there either. It's lightweight. you know, and it does everything okay, right? It's okay at everything, and augmented with an orthotic, it does pretty well. Look at the tensiometer. It does take 54 newtons to get this thing to 45 degrees. Well, 54 newtons to get to 45 degrees, sorry. And I think I said that right. And that's kind of right in the sweet spot. And you can see here, like it does bend appropriately right there at the MPJs, right at the ball of your foot. And then torsionally, yeah, I mean, that shank is doing a nice job. A little bit of torsion there, which is good, a little bit of flexibility. Obviously the forefoot's a little more flexible, but it's right kind of there in that sweet spot. And that's what Fuel Cell is kind of good for. It's very structurally sound, right? But it's a little bit more lightweight. It will be a little bit more plush adjacent once you break it in, but it's also lightweight. The shock absorption's okay. Like I said, it's kind of a workhorse type foam, does everything okay. Shank in there is fantastic. It's chunky, it's strong, they got great torsional stability and they bend appropriately. And if you like Fuel Cell, you'll like these. If you don't like Fuel Cell, you won't. All right, but getting into the outsole tread, look right here, it says Hezi Low. Once again, it doesn't really matter. I don't care what that, I mean, it doesn't matter what the numbers are on or the name of the shoe is, but just weird. So in the forefoot, it does basically come off of a really wavy herringbone. It does have a competing pattern underneath of there, and then obviously the Hezi Low logo right there. It is full length tread. You do get a little bit here coming off the flange on the lateral side, just some, you know, more triangular pattern. Kind of same thing in the rear foot. It's a little bit more radial and get some linear patterns. It's multi-directional. This thing does not slip on the grip test ramp until 42 degrees. You can hear it sticking to the ground too when you put them on. Like they feel, and the sound of them is very, very sticky. That also translates to the dust bin. You put them in the dust box, yeah, they are picking up some dust. And yeah, with the wipe down, they do okay, but they go from 42 degrees on the grip test ramp to 30. And all that's not the worst shoe I've ever seen. It's just, it's a big delta in there. I did notice if I gave them like 3 wipe downs, like good wipe downs with my hand, it got a lot better, but yeah, it just was sticky rubber. That's what you're gonna get. On the durability test with the belt sander, these did lose 0.5 grams. Now, this is thick rubber in places, and so there's a lot of rubber to lose in places, but remember these narrow treads, there's just no surface area there. There's nothing to share that friction, so they're just gonna go down. And the rubber, I mean, like I said, any more durometer just honestly doesn't matter that much. So yeah, I would say for these ones, I'd probably keep them on indoor courts. They're gonna have really sturdy traction if you keep them clean. It's just, remember with that stickier rubber, you are gonna attract a little bit more dust. All right, but getting into the fit of the P350, only 4.7 centimeters of toe box height. So not the most height in the toe box if you're putting in bulky orthotics. We'll talk about that in a second. And you have 7.8 centimeters of heel width, which isn't bad. It's not as wide as some other shoes are getting. And then you do have 9.6 centimeters of metatarsal width, 9.6 of toe box width, a length of 28.7 centimeters. But the craziest thing is that the toe box taper is only 34 degrees. Now it looks like it tapers more, I think, because of the panels, the overlays, and just the design of the shoe, but it is really mellow in the toe box. The bad thing is it's just the midfoot is narrow. These do come in a D and a 2E width. So, you know, it's hard to complain. So I'd say if you're a narrow or medium foot, go with the D. If you're a 2E, go with the 2E. If you're a 4E, go with the 2E, 1/2 size up, and you're gonna do great in these. I mean, they fit pretty much everybody pretty well. And with that toe box being so mellow, you don't have to call the barefoot police on these ones. So you're gonna get, really everyone's gonna get something out of these. And I think that's the best part of them is the fit is generous enough, and that toe box is really nice, that they're gonna fit a lot of people. They're gonna be a lot of comfort. There's a lot of comfort factor in these. Okay, in terms of who these are good for, some snake bitten feet. Flat, neutral, and high, all fine. I would say a high, you'll probably want an orthotic in there, something maybe a little more plush in there. Think more like Power Step Bridge versus something more like hard. You want like more soft, just more forgiving foam. In terms of ankle sprainers, honestly, they're fine. They're not the greatest things on planet Earth, but they're not, I mean, they're fine, put it that way. I felt that even though this is just foam here, this is just foam, and there isn't like a huge flange, it's wide enough here, the torsional stability is good enough that yeah, they were just fine. I didn't feel unstable in them whatsoever. They were okay. Like I said, there's better out there, but it's not bad. Plantar fasciitis, definitely you need an orthotic. At the beginning, you better have an orthotic in there. As they break in, they'll be okay. But then remember, over time, then that foam's gonna pack down a little more. Then it's not gonna pack down as much as EVA, just a standard EVA will, but put an orthotic in there. Achilles tendonitis, same thing. You're gonna need a more plush orthotic, something supportive, something for shock absorption back there. And the problem with that is, where's my orthotics? The problem with these orthotics is that there's not a ton of room in the forefoot. So it better be a low profile orthotic in here. So nothing too thick, like those New Balance ones I just showed, I had a video on. Like, I don't know how well they would do in here, but a more low profile foamer orthotic would do okay in these, like a Power Step Bridge would do really well in those, just something low profile in them. In terms of forefoot pain, I think we're gonna go with a X. They're just, I just don't like them enough. Put it this way, there are so much better shoes out there and they don't have the height in the forefoot. In terms of the toe box, they're great. Like if you just want toe splay, right? If you want something that allows toe splay, they're fine. So I'm just gonna put for toe splay, they are good, a check mark there, that's fine. In terms of arch pain, I would say they're just okay with a low profile orthotic. Big toe arthritis, like I said, they're a little bit low. So you're gonna need like an orthotic in there. So I just don't think they're built for it. Knee, hip, and back pain, they're just okay. If you have an orthotic in them, I think, I'll put a blue O. I think they're fine with a low profile orthotic in there. Like I said, there's better out there, but with an orthotic, I think they do just fine. I would say I like them so much more than the Hezi Low and the Hezi Low V2. I haven't really been secretive. I'm not a huge fan of the Hezi Low line. They're just okay. These ones to me are the best of that line. I don't understand where New Balance is going with the new models, like just the 400 and the 350, and they had such a good line. Like, who's asking for this? I'm wondering kind of if other models are gonna be coming out. We're gonna get something different there, but to go from 4 models, right, like 4 really world-beating models, the Kawhi, the Hezi Low, the Hezi Low I wouldn't say is world-beating, but a lot of people liked them, and they fit a niche, put it that way. So, I appreciate them. Then the two-way, which I think is one of the best basketball shoes ever made, and then the Fresh Foam BB line, which one of those I think was, the BBV2 was one of the best ever made too, and the BBV3 was fine. So you had 4 shoes that were just, in and of themselves, out of this world. You may not have liked the Kawhis or the Hezi Lows, but they fit certain people really, really well. And now we've got 2. Like you go on New Balance website, you got 2 shoes. So I hope that we're getting more models because, they've, I don't know, why would you discontinue the two-way line? I have no idea. So hopefully something is replacing it coming in the near future because, God, that shoe was just such an easy recommendation for me. And while these are okay, the P350, while they are okay, they're not the two-ways, for sure. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, honestly, just in terms of New Balance basketball in general, in terms of what's going on right now. If you know something I don't, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know kind of what your thoughts are, and if you know if there's other shoes coming out that I'm just not remembering that should be coming out, because I sometimes, I do lose stuff in the shuffle of all these shoes I review. So if there is something new coming out, let me know. And just what you think of them, kind of switching the lines up, let me know in the comments down below as well. And if you want to see what's going on with these, make sure you click into this video. Speaking of new shoes, make sure you click into this video right here. Make sure you subscribe down below. I'll see you in the next video.